Hi, I'm Kaylin Asher, and this is Yoga Business Live. I missed you guys last month because I just had my little girl on October 6th, so I wasn't able to make the call, but I'm so happy to be with you now. I have my mom here helping with me because I actually hear my little girl, Leona, squawking in the background, so Grandma is in there with her now. But I'm so happy to be here with you, and this topic, it didn't actually come from our community. It came from my experience over the last 6 weeks that I've been a new mama because I've realized that I really need to prioritize the time that I have. So I pitched the idea to Chris. He really liked it. So today we're going to be talking about if you only have 1 hour or limited time, whatever that may be, 20 minutes, 3 hours to work on your business. We want to talk about the most effective way that you can use that time so that you're really moving forward in your business and not just keeping busy. We all know that we can keep busy. I know I'm really good at it. I'm checking emails, I'm researching, I'm thinking about fun projects that are coming up, but that's not always the most effective thing to move me forward in my business. And so Chris and I want to share with you the most important thing to focus on, and I know I've been teasing you guys about it with our emails and everything, so we'll jump right in. And the most important thing to focus on is your community, the people that love you, that support you, that are interested in what you're doing, and they're your friends, your fans, your colleagues. There's so many different elements to your community, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we keep moving on with that, I'll let Chris jump in and say hi to you guys.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris, founder of Yoga Business Revolution, and I'm really excited to talk about this today because I feel like all of us are short-pressed for time, right? You know, we've all got so much going on our plates. We have our own practice. We're trying to teach. We're planning for our classes and teaching. We have family and friends. So, you know, it's more important than ever to laser in and focus on what's the most important in our crazy distraction riddled world. So I'm fired up.
Yeah, so in that vein, in talking about your community, and like I said, it's your yoga students, it's those fans that are on your newsletter or follow you on Facebook or Twitter, they're your friends, the people that just love you and support you, and colleagues, fellow yoga teachers, like-minded business owners. Chris and I, we're part of each other's community. Even though we offer similar products, we still support one another. And so having all those different elements of not just people that you're selling your product to, but people that are business-minded and support you in other ways, both are really, really important. And there's two things that I encourage you to focus on as I kind of remind myself that I need to focus on this in the limited time that I now have. And that is to nurture your current community and to think about how to grow your community. So there's really two facets to this puzzle that we're talking about today of how to make the most of that limited time that you have. So Chris, did you want to offer up some ideas about how we can nurture the current community that we already have?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this idea of nurturing our community, and I think it's important to remember that it's all about people.
Yeah.
I really believe that what will make all the difference in your business and your entire life is the quality of the connections and the effort and time you're putting into the relationships you have with the people around you. That's your students, like Kaylin's saying, other referral partners or collaborators that you work with. And by nurturing these connections, I think it's really important to take the time to to create intimate connections. So we live in this digital world of emails and text messages, Facebook messages, and it creates somewhat of an illusion that we're actually connecting with people. And yeah, that is a great way to connect. It is working, but it's not creating the best connection you can. And actually, I just noticed that I have a great example sitting on my desk here. I met a wonderful guy who invited me to stay at his retreat property on the coast here in California. And just such a generous guy. I stayed at this place and took care of it and had my own personal retreat, totally no charge. It was amazing. So I wanted to show my gratitude to him, and I wrote him a postcard. So I found this postcard of a picture of the place where I was staying, and I also thought, well, how could I really communicate how appreciative I am. And I wrote a poem actually about my experience and how much love and support I felt from his generosity. And I wrote the poem on the postcard. And I mean, yeah, this is the first thing that I did today. Before I checked email, and sorry, I know I'm kind of going on about this.
No, I like it. I like it.
Okay. Before I checked email, before I did any text messaging or did my accounting or books or did anything, I thought, what's the most important thing? And it's to write this guy a postcard in this poem I created and show how much I appreciate him. And I mean, that's just one little example of these things you can do that take a little time but are critically important and will make more difference in every facet of your business and life than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, that's so true, and that's such a great example that it doesn't just have to be, especially if you have an online business, an online interaction. Although making sure that you're up on your customer service emails and sending out thank yous, all those little things really matter to your community. And stepping outside of the newsletter, the mass email that maybe goes out once a week and I'm sure offers fabulous information to your community. I know I publish a weekly newsletter, but I also take the time to write personal notes to individual clients and individual community members to let them know how much I appreciate them reading what I put out there and watching my videos and supporting me, because it really does make all the difference. And the more love I show them, the more love they show me by supporting my business and also recommending my business to other people. So it's really a win-win. There's this really awesome teacher that I've been following lately. Her name's Melissa Cassera, and she did this free course called Obsessed, and it was all about how to get people obsessed with your business. And this was a huge component of what she was teaching, that you really have to shower your community with love. And she had all these really fun ways, all these little goodies and gift baskets that you can send them, and handwritten notes and books that you love. And it's something that I really took to heart because it's an element of my business that I really pride myself on, trying to interact on a one-on-one level with as many community members as possible. And it makes such a difference. I know on the receiving end, as a member of other people's community, like this woman, Melissa Cassera, being a part of her community, I've received chocolates in the mail and personal Facebook messages and emails, and we had a Skype chat, and it really made me feel special, even though she's probably talking to thousands and thousands of people in her weekly newsletter. It really made a difference feeling that I was the one person she was focusing on for a little bit of time. So those are just some thoughts about how to nurture your community, your current community, and really show them that you appreciate them. And at this time of year, with Thanksgiving just around the corner, we're all going to be talking about gratitude and what we're grateful for. It's a fabulous time to reach out to your top 3, 5, 10 students or clients and send them a personal note or a little gift that you know that they'll love, or give them a phone call or ask them to hop on Skype, or if they're local, obviously meet them at a coffee shop or go get tea with them or grab lunch. Show them how much you appreciate them. It really, really makes a difference.
Yeah, that's great. I love that concept. And you can make it even simpler. Just going up to, your best students after class, pulling them aside and genuinely looking them in the eye and saying, I appreciate you being here. And it means a lot that you're at this class every single week, week in and week out, showing up, and I just love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so powerful. And it sounds so simple, we're always talking about gratitude, and it can be so cliche, but I mean, there's a real meaning there. And I invite everybody watching to think, when was the last time I did that? When was the last time I really took that time to thank somebody sincerely for just showing up and being a part of what you're putting out into the world? It really can be that simple. And, I often say that type of communication with just one of your students or clients is more valuable than 20 emails blasted off, to 20 people at once. It really does. I guess it's, I suppose it's a quality over quantity type of approach.
Very much so. And I think it's always important to step into your students' shoes and think about being on the receiving end of that and how much a genuine thank you can mean to you at certain moments in your life. And if you have someone that you like and admire, and I'm guessing if you have students that are showing up week after week, they really like and admire you. When you have someone like that come to you on a one-to-one, person-to-person basis and say how much they appreciate you and what they value in you and the relationship you have, it really can make a huge difference and make you feel so valued and special. And that's what we're looking for when we are talking about nurturing our community. Now, on the flip side, as much as we want to show love to our current community and foster those connections that are already there and keep building on those relationships, another element of your community is thinking about how to expand it, how you can serve more, help more, and grow your business, because ultimately that is what's going to enable you to continue doing what you love, to have the business that you want to have and keep teaching, or whatever it is that really, really makes you happy. Is you need that element of forward-looking and where your business can go, and growing your community is a huge part of that. So some things that I do in those hours, those minutes that I have between feedings and diaper changes are I write guest posts for other people's blogs, other people's sites, online magazines, publications, so that my word and my teachings can reach new people, get in front of new eyes, and hopefully entice them back to my community if they're a good fit for my teachings and what I offer. Another thing I do, which is not always the most comfortable thing, but I pitch myself to be interviewed on blogs, on podcasts, on shows like this. It's really important to have outlets for your expertise. So again, you can get in front of new eyes and invite people, if they're a good fit, to join your community. Also, as a teacher, offering to sub for other teachers to get in front of new students, or even at other studios if you exclusively teach at one place and you're hoping to branch out. Instead of just constantly looking for teaching opportunities under that same roof, why not look elsewhere, to somewhere else that you can bring your teaching and expand and grow your community further. So those are just some thoughts about how to grow your student community. And of course, there's other ways to grow your affiliate community. And I don't just mean affiliate referring back, references back and forth and trying to get more business, but anybody in a business-oriented fashion that can support what you're doing and that you can support. So, Chris, did you want to throw out some ideas about maybe how you can grow your business community with colleagues?
I could. I was actually thinking of something else. This is a good. I like this shift that we're going in here. Yeah. And I believe that the big concept that Kaylin is expressing and talking about is marketing. So getting out and getting the word out into the world about what you do, and then inviting people to buy your stuff, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Kaylin's saying, this is the most important thing that you've got to be doing, because whether we like it or not, our businesses live and die on the money that comes in. That's really important, right? And it's very easy to get caught up in all this other stuff we do. As business owners, we wear a million different hats, but we got to remember that if there's no money coming in to pay the bills, to buy our own food and take care of ourselves, well, we can't do anything. So focus on that. And yes, this idea of working with other collaborators, I think is so powerful, because people come to me all the time asking about building online businesses, which I've done quite a bit of in the past couple years, and I always say that the number one thing that's helped me to build community and get access to new clients and new customers and new community members has been through collaboration with other people. Once again, same thing. It's much more than just emailing somebody. Yeah, that might work, but pick up the phone and call them. Send them a letter in the mail. Do something different than what everybody else is doing right now. And really, this is just the stuff we all used to do. We all used to call people. We all used to send postcards and letters. But now it has so much meaning because of the digital world. So think of how you can reach out to people that have similar communities to you, so they have a reach of an audience that's similar to you but maybe slightly different, and establish a friendship with them. A lot of people want to do a deal really quick, but a lot of times it takes months of getting to know someone before something organically blossoms out of that. Does that make sense?
I totally agree, and I forget who said this, but we often in our community as yogis, we hate that concept of networking. It feels really cold and businesslike and inauthentic. But if instead we rebrand that when we say networking to just think about relationship building, and whether that's one relationship or 100, networking is just about building a real connection with another real person. And sometimes, like Chris is saying, the most effective ways of doing that are the most basic, of picking up the phone, setting up a coffee date to meet in person, getting some FaceTime via Skype instead of just constantly communicating via email. And it does take time to build these relationships, but as Chris said, and I will totally back him up on this, some of the most amazing opportunities that have come my way have come through my fellow business connections. The best opportunities for my business growth, some of my most loyal clients, amazing, amazing things that never would have manifested otherwise have come because of these relationships that I've built through that process of networking that we don't like to think about. But it's really worthwhile. And honestly, as a teacher, as an entrepreneur, as a solo business person, it can be really isolating when you're moving through your day, through your week. But having like-minded business owners who have a similar vision to you and a same drive and ambition that you can mastermind with and brainstorm with and support, it really can infuse you with new energy and really motivate you to move forward in your business when you are feeling stuck or when you are confused. It really does help having people like other moms out there who have done it before that I can go to now and say, hey, how the heck did you manage everything when you had a brand new baby? Because I feel like I have no time to do anything. And having someone, a real person, give you advice can make all the difference in the world. So I really encourage you to take away that idea of networking if it kind of feels gross and icky to you, and think about relationship building. And that's the whole premise of what we've been talking about today with your community. Nurture your community, go into your community, and then grow your community. Seek out other opportunities. So it's really this dynamic balance of going in and then moving out. You need both for your business.
Hey, that sounds sort of yogic.
Yeah, doesn't it? You could design a whole yoga practice around that concept of balancing the inner and outer energies.
So, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love what you're saying about networking.
Yeah.
And we'll go a little longer because I'm really loving this conversation. This feels good.
Yeah, it does feel good. All of you with limited time, right? That's what we're talking about. We're going to make it a longer call.
If you have 1 hour to work on your yoga business, watch Yoga Business Live.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's a good jumping off point.
So networking, right. I know a lot of people don't like that. But when I go to a networking event, I'm just going to meet people, you know?
Yeah.
People ask me that. They say, well, what brought you here? I say, well, I just love meeting people. I love getting to know people, what they do, who they are, what they're passionate about. You know, I just love all these personal expressions of human beings. And I'm not going there to sell stuff or like, you know, who am I going to make a connection with? It's like, no, I'm just going to meet people. You know, drink a beer, get loose, whatever, have fun. And it's all of a sudden it has a whole different spin on it than this idea of like, oh, I've got to get my perfect elevator pitch and I've got to find somebody who can help me. It's just, it doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah, I think we need to remove the pressure of making something happen right away, because that's not really how the best opportunities happen. Like Chris said, it can take months of getting to know someone before the right opportunity comes about for the two of you to work on something that's really meaningful. But having those connections in place is essential for those opportunities to come about. So you have to lay the foundation and sometimes just let it be, and then amazing things will come your way. So you have to take the time when you have those minutes and hours available to you to reach out to people so that you can start to foster that growth and that energy for your business so that it can start to snowball and move you forward in the right direction.
Totally. So lastly, to cap it up, I've got one more subject to cover here.
Nice.
So after we're building on the same thing. It's all about people. It's all about communication. It's all about relationship. And you do this work marketing. You're getting the word out there. But at some point, you've got to start asking people to buy whatever you're selling. And It sounds really simple, but I work with so many clients who are missing this, myself included. We get so wrapped up in everything we're doing in our business that we never think, how much am I actually out there asking people to buy my products or services or come to my classes? And you really have to do that because it's not going to happen on its own. You've got to go out and have these conversations with people and invite them to try whatever you have, or else it's not going to happen. Just a quick story. I heard someone giving a speech once about this type of thing, and they said they hired their very first business coach. And this business coach guaranteed that they would triple their business in 1 month if they were to follow his instructions. So, pretty radical claim. And he only had one instruction, one thing to do. And that, you ready? Go out, let me try to think. Go out and have 100 sales conversations a week.
Oh my God, that sounds very intimidating.
Right, it sounds, I know, and this is very radical, and I'm not telling anybody to do this, but it worked. This person went crazy. They went to networking events. They started calling people on the phone, and sure enough, they tripled their business. And yeah, that's really radical. I don't think you need to do that, and it's not the best approach, but I think it really proves the point that if you need to grow your business, you need to bring in clients, and you need to make more money. You've got to be out there having these conversations with people, telling them about what you do, and inviting them to try it out.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And the thing is if you're cringing right now at the thought of pitching yourself to people and having those conversations of moving people towards the sale, I promise you, the more you do it, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. All of this stuff becomes easier. If the idea of networking or reaching out to your community or whatever it is feels a little uncomfortable, just know that the more you practice it and the more you do it, the more adept you'll get at it. Just like with yoga. Just like the more you practice the poses, the more comfortable you become and the more instinctual and the more you feel them in your body. The same thing happens with all of this stuff, all the marketing, the networking, the community building. The more you try it out and practice it, the better and better it will get, the easier it will get, and the more fun you'll have with it, because that's a big part of it too. And so with that in mind, if you're okay with it, Chris, I'm going to move into the action step that we're going to offer them for this next month. And I encourage you, after hearing our conversation today, to brainstorm 3 ways to nurture your current community and 3 ways to grow your community. So like we said, nurturing your current community. How can you show your students, your fans, your friends, your followers, and your colleagues out there, how can you show them more love and how much you really, really appreciate them? And to grow your community, who can you talk to that maybe you've been eyeing up, other business people that you think are really, really awesome that you've been shying away from? Or how can you get in front of new groups of students? Where can you teach? Who can you speak to? What teachers can you collaborate with? Really dive in and try to think of 3 things in each category that sound maybe like you're pushing yourself a little bit, but also sound enjoyable so that you actually will do them. And then once you have your 3 in each category, I want you to pick 1 of each, 1 to nurture and 1 to grow, and do them within the next 24 hours. I know we do this call once a month, and you might think, oh, well, I have a whole month to think about this before the next time. But honestly, we have the holidays coming up. It's going to get busy. Pick 1 way to nurture your community, 1 way to grow it, and do it in the next 24 hours. I guarantee you're going to feel so good. So when you have that hour of free time, that's what you need to do. 1 thing for each. And I'll try to do the same.
And like Kaylin's saying, pick something that you'll enjoy doing and keep it simple.
Yeah.
Coming up with poems and writing postcards to 30 of your best students, it's probably going to be a little overwhelming. But going up and talking to 3 students after class, it's totally doable. So pick something that really works with you, that you'll enjoy, that you'll feel good doing, and uses your strengths and really helps you to showcase who you are and helps you feel self-expressed in what you want to bring to the world.
Awesome. So I thank you guys. With your limited time that you have stuck with us. I know we went a little longer than usual, but this was a great topic. I really hope that it made you think about how do you use your time when you have that hour to work on your business. Are you just checking your emails and doing research and it feels like you're doing stuff, but you're really not pushing yourself to move forward? And instead, reprioritize that time. Think about how you can nurture your current community to really develop and build those relationships, and how you can keep growing your business by growing your community and reaching more and more people. So as always, I encourage you to send us your questions, the topics that you want to hear us talk about here on the show. We sit down the third Thursday of every month, so we have another one coming up in December. We're still looking for a topic, so if you guys have something in mind, please send it our way. And right below this video, you can sign up for Chris's newsletter and information and my information. We've got lots of cool stuff going on. We have lots of free offerings like this show, so please join our communities. Like I said, if you're a good fit for us, we want you to come on in so that we can keep giving you this information and helping you build your best business possible. So thank you guys. Thanks, Chris, for sitting down with me. It's nice to see you after a little bit of maternity leave. And we'll see you guys next month in December. Take care.
Bye, everybody.